Greetings, cyberdogs and citizens of the internet. This is RENDOG coming at you from the Cyberdog Monument Foundations in this Let's Play Minecraft Survival series. In the previous episode, we were working on a new design for the balcony that you see behind me, as well as telling a story about my very first band, Diamond Illusion. And in this episode, my friends, we are going to go see if we can find a little bit more lapis, and we are going to finish the freaking story about the time that MudDog took me and my band to a festival. So sit back and relax, my cyber diggity dogs. I hope you got a tasty ass beverage. I hope you got some crunchy ass snacks. Let's play some Minecraft Survival. Now guys, since you were last with me, I've been a little bit busy around here, doing a little bit more work on the monument itself. And as you can see, what I've done is I've added some glass painage into this balcony to number one, have a look what it looks like, and number two, get your guys' opinion on the glass over here. What I've done is I've got some clear glass over here, and I've got some red stained glass over here. And I'm not sure about the red stained glass, if I'm totally honest. Like, it looks pretty cool, but I don't know, it looks a bit dirty to me, if you know what I'm saying. Kind of looks like we're walking through the streets of Amsterdam up in here, man. And on this side, you know, the clear glass is really cool because we can actually see straight through it, and we can see Mole City and the Nether Portal Temple over there. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to see through this like dirty ass glass over here. So I don't know, guys. What do you guys think about this glass? Which do you prefer? Let me know in the comment section below, and we'll make a decision on that. I've also added the last of our lapis blocks. I've added the last of our lapis blocks to this canal, and we are now 100% out of freaking lapis, people. So we're going to be heading over to Dogtown, and if I remember from the beginning of Season 2, there's a mine shaft underneath Dogtown, and there's a whole bunch of caves and stuff under there too. So I want to see if we can go find some lapis over there, because in the strip mine, man, I've stripped that place bare. There ain't no more lapis up in that jazz. And I've also worked on another little balcony over here, guys, but unfortunately we've run out of quartz. So I'm going to have to do a whole bunch of quartz / lapis grinding to get this monument done. But things are starting to look even more festive around Mole City and around Rentopia over here, guys. Let's go over to the Cyberdog Christmas tree and have a look what's going on over here. The presents are... There's been an elf. An elf has arrived in Rentopia and cast his magical wand upon all of these chests over here, and now they look like presents. And it's freaking sweet. I was using trap chests before because I wanted to be able to stick them next to each other. But when I logged into Minecraft today, the texture for the chests had changed to presents, so here we go, man. The Cyberdog Christmas tree is looking even more freaking festive, and man, check at this, man, check at this. My jumper and all of those presents match beautifully. Oh man, this is turning out to be such an awesome Christmas. But guys, in today's episode, we are going to head over to Dogtown and explore the caves underneath Dogtown to see if we can get some lapis. Oh, and by the way, Cyberdog on dogcraft.net let me know in the chat that there was a stair that was facing in the wrong direction in this location over here. So Cyberdog, thanks for letting me know, and you can put your OCD to rest, man. I have fixed it. He even took a screenshot and everything because I hadn't actually spotted it, but there we go, man. This is now totally fixed, and that's looking awesome. Let's have a look at the red glass and the see-through glass from over here, and check at that. You see, I don't know if I like the red glass, man. I don't know. It's a bit too ominous for me. I like the see-through glass is like way more classy. If you know what I mean. And I'm a classy dog, so I don't know about that one. Well, we'll make our decision at some other point. Let's head into the mole hole just to get ready on this little adventure we're going on right now. And I can thus continue telling you guys about the story that I started in the previous episode. And if you guys didn't watch the previous episode, this is going to be kind of awkward for you, man. Because we're halfway through a freaking story, and you don't really know what's going on in the story. And who jumps into stories halfway through? Go freaking watch the previous episode before I shove this freaking hot tater up your butthole. But for those of you guys who did watch the previous episode, let me give you a quick recap of what was going on. I was talking about my very first band that I had in junior school. So this was when I was about, I don't know, I was about 10 years old, 12 years old. And this band was called Diamond Illusion. And this was my band that I formed. And we found some success at my school. We managed to play at a social event where there were boys and girls, and we played like at a house party basically, which was our very first gig, and it was an extremely successful gig, if I do say so myself, man. We had the girls and boys jumping up and down, and people thought that we were really, really sweet and awesome that night, even though I didn't get a girlfriend or even a kiss unfortunately, we had an amazing gig, and that was the night that really kick-started my junior school band. After that, we sort of played a lot, man. We used to play during assemblies. We used to like play all the time, and whenever we had an opportunity to play, we would freaking play. And we even played at the school's final assembly. So when I finished junior school, let's just get claw repaired over here. There we go. So wheat claw's ready for action. This diamond pickaxe is definitely not ready for action though. So I think maybe we should just make another diamond pickaxe. Terra is like way too damaged to take on this mission, I think. So I think we'll just take another diamond pickaxe. We got loads of diamonds, man. We got loads of diamonds to do this. We'll just repair this pickaxe over here. But Diamond Illusion actually played at the final assembly of my junior school, and it was amazing. It was actually a very emotional gig, actually. Like most of us and most of the school we were crying our eyes out, man, because you know, at junior school we were like, when you get to your last year of junior school, you're like the boss, man. Like you are the most awesome, you know, you're like the oldest kids in the school. Everybody loves you. Like all the younger kids look up to you, and because we were in a band, like all the younger kids really liked us and stuff. And of course, when you get to high school, all of that changes, right? Like suddenly when you get to high school, you're at the bottom of the pile again, man. Suddenly you are the junior, and you know, you are the one that everybody picks on. But of course, the guys in Diamond Illusion and myself, we didn't realize that was going to happen. But what we did realize was that at the end of junior school, basically the end of junior school was the end of Diamond Illusion. It was the end of an era. It was the end of something beautiful. Oh God. And we knew that you know, the band would never get together again, because a lot of us were going to different high schools. The drummer was going to a different high school than the guitarist and I, and the bass guitarist was going to a different high school also. So you know, things were looking bleak for the band, man. The dream was coming to an end, and we were kind of sad. Hey, what's up, Pogo? What's cracking? However, the good news is that the guitarist and I were going to the same high school. We wrote the entrance exams for exactly the same high school. We both managed to get into the high school, and we even organized to both be in the same hostel, and on top of that, we've even organized to be in the same room in the hostel. Now, a lot of you guys know, but maybe some of you guys don't know, I went to an all-boys boarding school, and it was a pretty small school, pretty far away from any civilization, to be honest with you. It was kind of like a British boarding school, I guess. And you know, with that comes all of the nonsense that comes with boarding schools. You know, the hierarchy that's involved, where the older boys are like they are the dominant force of the school, and as juniors, like, you don't really have much say. You can't really do anything, really. And at the school that I went to, there was a prefect system, so the older boys, like the younger boys, had to do stuff for the older boys, and I don't know, it was a pretty crazy place. But you know, the guitarist and I from Diamond Illusion, we went to high school, and we didn't think about any of that jazz, man. We didn't think there was going to be any problems. We thought that, okay, we'll get to high school, okay, and what we'll do is we'll just reform Diamond Illusion. We'll like find another drummer, we'll find another guitarist, and we will get the band going again in high school, and we will be as successful in high school as we were in junior school, and everybody in high school will love us, and everybody will like you know, want our signatures, and like maybe there'll be a girls' school close by, and we can go play at the girls' school, and everything is gonna be freaking sweet. And that was our vision. That was our dream, right? Oh, how naive we were. Oh my goodness, check at that. I can actually glitch myself into Dogtown. That's pretty awesome. Let's just sleep the night away, shall we, guys? Well, here we are in Dogtown. Man, that was a pretty short trip, man. I love that train journey. It's just so pretty, even at night when it's infested with zombies. But anyway, guys, my guitarist and I arrived at our high school, like we were 12 years old. We didn't know what was going on, and very, very soon did we realize that actually high school is way more difficult than we ever thought it was going to be, because when you are a junior at high school, you are literally like nothing. You know, you don't have, I mean, no one cares about you, really. You're just like one of the new young kids that's arrived, and you know, we had to make the beds of the older kids for them, for the prefects and whatnot, and we kind of fell into the rhythm of high school, and you know, Diamond Illusion soon sort of left our minds, because there was way more important things to worry about. For example, trying our best not to be punished every single day, you know, doing really good work, trying to succeed in school, and so on and so forth. So, you know, Diamond Illusion kind of took a step back for a while, and we kind of forgot about Diamond Illusion for a while. Oh, okay, awesome. This is I knew there was an abandoned mine shaft down here. All right, guys, well, I brought a compass along with us also, so we can literally just explore this place unopposed to see if we can find a bit more lapis. And I think we've probably explored quite a lot of this place the last time we were here in Season 2. So I think we're probably going to have to venture quite far to find any sign of lapis. So let's just do that, man. Let's just explore these caves, see what we can find, and any lapis is going to get clawed out of the freaking earth, and man, we're going to try collect as much lapis as we can. But after about, I don't know, it must have been about a year of high school, when things started settling down, you know, the first year of high school is always the hardest, right? Like, that's when you're the junior. That's when you're worthless. And, you know, there was just no ways we were going to be able to form a band in those years. It just wasn't going to happen. But after, like, the first year of high school, when suddenly we weren't the first years anymore, we were, like, the second years. Oh, there's some lapis straight off the bat, man. That's awesome. When we were second years, suddenly, like, we, you know, we weren't picked on as much. We weren't the rubbish of the school anymore. You know, we were like the second years, and the new batch of first years arrived, and they were the rubbish. And, you know, suddenly they were taking all the flack from the older boys, and suddenly we were left alone, and suddenly we found ourselves with a whole bunch more time on our hands, and we thought to ourselves, okay, all right, we've got more time over here. Both of us brought our guitars to high school, and we used to practice together all the time. Even in first year, we used to, like, go to the music department, and we used to practice together. And actually, during that first year, we started to write some music. So in Diamond Illusion in junior school, we only did cover songs. I told you guys in the previous episode, we did like Smoke on the Water and Stairway to Heaven and Basket Case and Self-Esteem was our repertoire. And when we got to high school and we got a little bit older, we decided to start writing some music. And my fellow guitarist was actually really, really good. He was a really good guitarist. He was better than me, in fact. And he was a really good songwriter too. He started writing like some really, really jazzy songs, really, really good songs. And by the end of first year, we had like a good few songs under our belt, man. We probably had like 5 or 6 songs that we'd written together. I'd written like 2 or 3, and he'd written like 4. He'd written the majority of the songs. And all of the songs that we decided to do in our band in high school, most of them were his songs actually, because they were way better than mine. But, you know, like, we still kept the dream alive, man. We were like, you know what? We are going to freaking keep this dream alive, and it is going to be awesome. Diamond Illusion will live again, and there is a freaking cave spider spawner over here, people. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, I'm going to have to take out this cave spider spawner ASAP. Get access to it. Die. Ooh, doggy. That was close. That was close. Freaking hate me a cave spider spawner. Are there more in there? There's probably more. Okay. Let's do this. Let's try get in here, guys. Get some water in here. Are there any more cave spider spawners in here? The coast looks clear. Oh my goodness. This is a ridiculous amount of spider webbage going on over here, man. Whoa. that does not look healthy. Jeez, man, look at this glitching. Well, I don't see anything else through there. Oh my goodness. Okay, well this is clearly a path that we should not be venturing down. So anyway, oh my goodness, distracted by freaking spider webbage. So my guitarist and I started like writing songs, and by the time our second year arrived, we were ready to start a brand new band. So we sort of scoured the high school to try and find a bass guitarist and to try and find another guitarist, and most importantly, to try and find a drummer. You know, like a band is not a band without a drummer, man. A drummer is like the most important part of a band. Without a really good drummer, you will not have a really good band, and that is a fact. That is a fact, my friends. Like, the drummer is by far the most important part of a band. It's also, like, a drummer is always the most underappreciated part of a band also. What the... Man, there is some crazy glitching going on in this freaking cave spider section over here. There we go. But we managed to find a drummer that was actually the drummer for the jazz band of the high school, and he was really good, right? Because he was jazzy, man. And you know, if you know me, man, you know that I like jazz. So the fact that he was a jazzy drummer made me really happy. And he was also he also had like a bit of a rock vibe going to him, and a lot of our songs were quite like rock vibe-ish, which was really good. So he was like a perfect fit for us. So we recruited him. We also found a really good bass guitarist. Oh, look at this sweet cache of Lapis over here. Awesome. The bass guitarist was also really good. And then there was me on guitar, and I was going to do the vocals. And we had a full band. We had 4 guys willing to play in a brand new band. And what we did was we spoke to the music teacher, or the head of the music department, and we said, listen here, dude. We are Diamond Illusion, man. We were really famous in junior school. I mean, like once over 50 people came to watch us at a house party. I mean, you know, this is the next freaking U2 that you're looking at. We need to use the practice room over here so that we can practice our band. And basically, we convinced the head of music to allow us to use the music department as our practice venue. So like the place where the jazz band practiced, which was like a really huge music hall, like with a really good acoustics and stuff. That's where we wanted to practice, right? Because we were going to be writing like the songs that were going to take over the world, man. We needed to practice in the best possible venue that we could find. Like we needed great acoustics. You know, we needed to hear all of the instruments, and we were going to be famous, obviously. And the music director agreed, I think mostly out of curiosity. Oh, I actually lost that water. What? Wow, that was some weird glitching. We're going to have to try find some water now, guys. But yeah, I think he probably just did it because, I don't know, out of sympathy or maybe out of curiosity. I don't know, man. But he said, yes, we could use the jazz band practice room to practice in our band. So we moved all of our instruments in there. We moved our guitars. We moved our amplifiers. There was a drum set in there already for the jazz band. So we had everything that we needed to basically start a brand new band. And that's exactly what we did in our second year of high school. We practiced all the time. After school, we were practicing. During school, we were practicing. Whenever we could, man, we were always practicing. And the guitarist and I, the other guitarist and I, we were always writing songs. We stayed pretty close to each other in the hostel. In the second year, we weren't in the same room, but we were always practicing together, always trying to write new music and stuff. And it was a really, oh no, there's another one. And it was a really good year, man. It was a really fun and awesome year for all of us in the band. Like we were trying really hard, practicing really hard. But because we were in a boarding school in the middle of nowhere, there was no opportunity for gigage. You know, there were no venues to play at. There was nowhere to go, right? Like where were we supposed to play when we were in a boarding school? And this is not good times over here. I need to block off these freaking spiders from harassing me. Oh, you bastard. No. Back up, son. I need to block this off. No, this is not good. Death. Ooh, doggy. That was close. Okay, let's block ourselves in here while we recover from that attack. Oh my goodness, that was close, man. I'm sweating. But anyway, guys, as I was saying, our new band, man, we didn't have anywhere to play. You know, we didn't have anywhere to play. All we did was like practice together, but we didn't have any gigs or anything. And like, what kind of a band has no gigs? Like, if you're going to be a band, you need to freaking gig. And we started talking, you know, where we were going to play, how were we going to play, and we spoke to the head of the music department, and we were like, dude, why don't you let us play for the school and stuff, you know, like maybe we can organize a gig for the school. And the head of music was like, nah. He wasn't that excited about that idea, to be honest. And fair enough. I mean, you know, like we were probably really bad. I mean, we were amazing. He just didn't understand our music, okay? But he didn't want to really organize a show for us. And you know what, it was probably a better idea. Like, I'm pretty sure that if we did play for the school, we probably would have got roasted, because at the end of the day, we were still like juniors, right? We weren't seniors or anything like that. We were still like pretty young. And there's some freaking chests over here. Did we? Oh, I think we've explored this one already, haven't we? Yeah, we must have. Oh wait. This is the entrance. So anyway, we didn't manage to get a gig at the school, so we started talking to each other about trying to find other ways to play. We were like, okay, fine, we can't play in the school, but there's got to be like other places to play, right? Surely we can find somewhere to play. We've got like 5 or 6 songs now. Like we've got enough songs to, you know, at least like have a 10-15 minute gig. And I mean, you know, surely people would pay to come and see like a 10 and 15 minute gig, right? I mean, surely. And we started looking around, and my guitarist stumbled across a pamphlet at the school for a festival in South Africa, which is in like a small town. And we thought to ourselves, well, here's a festival that we could possibly play at, and it looks pretty sweet, and there's going to be loads more people there, not just people from our school too. These are going to be like other people. Maybe there will be people from like a record label, man. Maybe, you know, maybe like the manager of Oasis will be there, or, you know, or maybe like, I don't know, maybe the Beatles will be there and they'll sign us and we'll be famous. And so we looked into applying to this band, and we spoke to our headmaster and everything for help how to get into this band. And of course we spoke to our mamas, and we said to our mamas, we want to play in this festival. We've got a band. You know, we started a band at high school. We've been practicing for like a year. We are ready. You know, we're ready to get famous, man. You guys, if you let us go to this festival, MudDog, you will never have to work again. I will be a famous rock star. I will look after you. You know, like you will have the best life ever. Like just whatever you want, I'll get it for you, man. I'm gonna be a rock star. And our mamas were like, okay. They weren't that excited, to be honest, which is fair enough, I guess, because of course they would be like footing the bill for the entire thing, right? It's not like we were working or anything. And going to a festival isn't exactly cheap, you know. You gotta drive there. You've gotta, you know, you had to get all of our instruments there. It wasn't exactly going to be like a little cheap little road trip to a festival. But you know, our mamas agreed because our mamas are awesome. And we actually booked ourselves into the festival, and I didn't even know like how or why the festival accepted us, but they did. They accepted us onto the fringe circuit of the festival. So the festival is like an arts and entertainment festival, and this festival has like a main part and a fringe part. Now the fringe part is basically for up and coming acts and for, you know, bands like us, I guess, playing in like really small venues. And when I say small venues, I mean like playing in, you know, the garages of people's houses in the town. That they've rented out for the festival, you know, like ridiculously small venues. Let's get down here. But we didn't realize that. We didn't know what a fringe festival was. We didn't understand that termage. We just saw the word festival, and we knew that, you know, this could be our freaking ticket to success. So we booked ourselves into the festival. We started practicing like crazy, trying to, you know, get ourselves ready for this freaking sweet festival and everything. And we got into the festival. We got accepted. We prepared ourselves. It was like 3-4 months to go to the festival. Now, the catch to this was the festival was about an 11-hour drive from where we lived in Johannesburg. And we all lived in Johannesburg. The whole band lived in Johannesburg. And this was a long-ass drive to get to this festival. And for some reason, my MudDog said, okay, guys, I will drive you all. And what we had to do was get all of our instruments from school all the way back to Johannesburg. So like the mamas had to drive us all the way from school back to Johannesburg with all of our instruments. And then we needed to trek those instruments all the way to the festival. And by all of the instruments, I mean 2 guitars, a bass guitar, 3 amplifiers, a whole bunch of cabling, microphones, an entire drum set, you know, and then a band of 4 people and the mamas. So it was a lot of freaking space required to go to this festival, man. It was ridiculous. And I remember the morning that we left, we put a trailer on the back of my mum's car. We put all of our instruments into the trailer, and my drummer's mama was also going to come to this festival to come and watch us play. But she was only going to come like 2 days later, because we were going down 2 days early so that we could practice and we could get ready, because this was going to be the festival that we would make it, man. This would be the festival that would break our band. Oh, and by the way, we changed our name also. You know, we thought about keeping our band name Diamond Illusion, but then we thought to ourselves, you know, by that stage we were like 15, 16, and we were like, Diamond Illusion is pretty lame. Like, that's a pretty lame ass band, man. That sounds like a disco band from the 80s. You know, there's nothing cool about that band. So we changed our band name. Now, guys, you can't laugh when I tell you what we changed our band name to. But we changed our band name to regular. Yes, yeah, like keeping regular, like keeping your bowel movements regular. Yeah, that kind of regular. Of course, when we chose that name, we didn't realize like what it actually meant. And I remember when my mama asked me what the name of my band was, and I said, well, our band's name is Regular. And my mama was like, well, you do realize that means regular bowel movements. That, are you trying to encourage people to like eat more fiber in their diet? Is that what your band is about? I was like, hell no, Mum, you are so square. You don't know anything. Like, Regular is awesome, okay? It's a great name. It's really trendy and stuff. And MudDog was just like, okay, cool. Good luck. Good luck with that one. Anyway, we were called Regular, man. And before we got to this festival, we made a whole bunch of posters. We printed out hundreds of posters. We were going to hand the posters out to people on the streets at the festival to try and get as many people into our very first gig as possible, right? We had this vision of the venue being like a band venue, like a grimy band venue, and we probably could get like 1,000 people in there, right? Because that was going to be the first gig. This was going to be the gig that goes down in history, man. The Rolling Stones magazine was going to be writing about this gig in this grimy venue in this festival town, and it was going to be epic. This was where it all began. This is where the magic started. And so was our illusion, if you catch my drift over there. But anyway, we all rammed ourselves into MudDog's car. The trailer got hooked onto the back, full of the instruments, and we drove the 11 hours all the way to the town. And there was 3 of us in the back, MudDog driving and me in the front, and the whole band and the whole future of the band was in one car, and we drove all the way to the festival. We got to the venue 2 days early, or to the town 2 days early, and we booked ourselves into this hostel that we were staying at. So the band, we all stayed in the same room, right? Because that's what bands do. When bands go on the road, man, they stay in the same place. And we stayed in the same room with dreams of being famous. And MudDog stayed with one of her friends that had a house there in the town. And I remember that the very first day that we got there, I said to my mama, we need to practice, man. Like after an 11-hour drive, right? My mama had driven for 11 hours, and we said we need to practice. And what we done was we booked out a place to practice at one of the schools in the town, and I said to my mama, we need to practice right now. Like this is a chest, sweet. Oh, that is a win. You need to get us to the practice venue right now. And my mama was really, really tired, obviously, as you would be after like such a ridiculous long drive. But because my mama is so amazing, she actually said, yes, okay, I'll take you to the practice venue. And she took us to the practice venue with all of our instruments in the trailer, and we set up and we started practicing. And that was close. And we set up all of our instruments, and I remember my MudDog like sat down in the venue, and I went to her and I was like, Mama, I love you and everything, but to be honest with you, it's not, like rock bands don't really have their mamas sitting with them in practice. Do you mind like going to have a coffee or something while we practice? And I remember my mama was so upset. She actually started crying. I think she was so angry with me for that. At the time, I didn't understand it, right? Because in my mind, like mamas don't sit. Like mamas of rock stars aren't there for practice sessions. I mean, seriously, that is just not how rock stars work. But she was really upset with me. But you know what? Because my mama loves me and because she's so freaking awesome, she agreed, and she was like, cool, no worries, I'll go. And she went, and then she came and picked us up a little bit later once we'd finished practicing, and we went back to our hostel, and the day of our gig was slowly approaching. We were so nervous. My drummer's mama arrived also. She'd also come to see us. She wanted to come and watch. Our mamas were like really proud of us, man. Even though we were probably terrible, and by terrible I mean we were just way ahead. We were way ahead of our time. You know what I mean? Like we were just too modern for the time, right? Like people just didn't get the music, okay? It wasn't that we were bad. It was that we were a band that was born in the wrong time. But our mamas were like, they were super proud of us, man. And I remember the first day that we went to the first venue, that we were going to play at, the very first gig, our very first gig as regular, and a gig not in a school or not for people that we know, a gig for strangers who were actually going to pay to come and watch us. And we decided to make our tickets really cheap. Our ticket was like $2, I think, the equivalent of like $2, right, to come and watch regular, the latest, greatest band that was going to take over the world. And we put posters. The day before the gig, we spent the entire time putting posters all around the town. Everywhere we could, we put posters. We went to all of the restaurants and stuck posters up on the walls. We went into all of the bookshops. Everything, everywhere we could put posters, we stuck posters, man. And we just knew there were going to be hundreds of people. There were going to be people queuing out the freaking venue to see regular. And it was going to be the best thing that had ever happened to this festival. Now, the morning that we got to the venue, our dreams, shall we say, started to change somewhat. How does one describe the venue? Well, the venue was basically a lounge in a rather large house, and the owner of the house had basically taken all of his furniture out of this lounge. He'd boarded up the windows and put about, I don't know, 30 chairs in rows in the venue, and then he built a tiny little stage out of wooden plankage in the corner of the lounge. So that was the venue, okay? So not exactly 100 people, but not even 50 people, more like 30 people, capacity. But we thought to ourselves, okay, no worries, we'll move the chairs, right? So that'll give because this is a gig, man, you don't sit down for a gig. We'll move the chairs, and that'll be able to squeeze in at least another 100 people, right? Because there's going to be at least 100 people coming, minimum. So we moved all the chairs, and that gave us a little bit more space. There was a very small sound desk at the back of the room also, with a hippie sound man. I don't even know if he was a sound man, or if it was just someone off the streets. I can't even remember. All I know is that he was asleep most of the time. He wasn't exactly the greatest sound man that I've ever seen. But we moved the chairs away. There was a tiny little bar also, that was literally just a table with some beer on it. And there was a barman there also who looked to be the son of the owner of the house, I think. He was definitely not old enough to be selling beer, but anyway. And we thought to ourselves, okay, no worries. So we'll get at least 100 people standing, right? Which is fine because they can jump around and mosh around and have a good time, and then everybody else can just be outside the house and they can hear the music. We'll just turn the volume up really loud. So we went to the sound man and we were like, dude, you need to make sure that the volume is super loud because there's going to be loads of people outside, right? And they're going to want to hear the music, so you need to turn the volume up. And the dude was with his eyes half shut. He was like, okay. He was basically asleep. He didn't even hear what I said to him, to be honest. And we set up our instruments on this tiny little stage, and it was tiny, people. I was standing, our guitars were basically clipping each other on the stage. If we moved left or right just a little bit, we would the tops of our guitars would touch each other, kind of thing. The drummer was crammed into the corner. But we thought to ourselves, this is the first gig, man. You can't expect Wembley Stadium on your first gig. You got to start at the bottom. So we set up our instruments. We did some sound testing, which didn't go down too well because the sound man was asleep. So yeah, that didn't go down too well. So what we did was we adjusted the volumes on our amplifiers, and the sound man didn't adjust the volume on his sound desk. So that didn't bode too well later on in the gig. But anyway, we prepared ourselves. We went to the kitchen of the house, basically. That was the backstage area, if you will. You were allowed to go and hang out in the kitchen, and we were there, and we'd snuck in a beer, right? Because we were only 16, but we thought, you know what, we're rock stars. We're gonna share this beer together before the gig. This is gonna be the ceremonial beer, and it'll take the edge off, And because we're all really nervous about this, but and we shared this beer, and we got into a huddle, and we were like, guys, this is it. This is it. This is the day that we get famous. This is the day that our lives change. This is the day that we can let our mama dogs retire and they can live a life of luxury. This is the day that regular rises. And we all huddled, and we all like, you know, we were so freaking excited, man. And the time of the gig approached. I think it was at like 7:30, and we saw it on this big clock in the wall of the kitchen. And we were shaking. We were so nervous. We were saying to each other, like, we were going over all the song lists and everything. Like, what song are we playing first, guys? Don't forget, we're playing this song. Then we're playing that song, and then we're playing this song. And can you remember the words? And is everybody ready? And we were all ready, and we were shaking, and we were so nervous. And we saw the lights in the venue go down. The sound man suddenly like awoke for a brief moment, because he I think maybe his instinct kicked in, and he was like, oh god, it's gig time. He turned the lights down in the venue, and we heard some clapping, and we thought, this is it. There are hundreds of people out there waiting for Regular to take the stage. We are gonna blow them away. Let's do this. And we all got into the huddle, and we all shouted, and we were like, let's go, guys, let's go. And we ran through the door of the lounge, or should I say of the venue, into the stage, and we jumped onto the stage, and there was a really huge spotlight shining onto the stage, and I couldn't see anything because the spotlight was directly in my freaking eyeballs. And I put on my guitar and plugged it in, and I hit the first note, and the drummer started like smashing on the cymbals, which was like the intro of our set, and everything was going really, really well. And we heard some clapping, and we were super excited, and our first gig was starting. And then the sound man turned up the lights a little bit, and the lights in the venue started to rise, and then we started to get our very first view of our very first crowd. And in this crowd, our very first crowd, as the band Regular, the band that was going to take over the world, the band that was going to be the next U2, in this crowd was my mama, my drummer's mama, and the sound man. It was a crowd of 3. And the lights came on, and I started playing the first song, and my mama and my drummer's mama started like dancing really embarrassingly, as mums and parents do. You know, mums and parents dance in the most awkward and most horrible ways. And the sound man fell asleep, and he'd woken up, and he turned up the volume of all the stuff because he hadn't done any sound checking when we did the sound check, and the sounds were all bad, and he sort of flicked the switches up and down. The sound was horrendous. He went back to sleep. I think he'd probably been drinking, or, you know, probably smoking something that he shouldn't have been. And my mama and my drummer's mama were like pretending that this was the best gig of their lives. And halfway through the first song, the drummer stopped playing, and the guitarist stopped playing, and I stopped playing, and we looked at our mamas, and we were like, guys, I don't know if we're gonna carry on. And you know, like, we were like, is it really worth carrying on this gig? Like, you guys are the only people that have come. Yes, you've paid your $2, but like, you're our mamas, so it doesn't really count. And my mama came up to me, and she said to me, if you give up now, you're basically giving up on this entire dream. Just because there's no one here to watch you doesn't mean that your dream is dead. You will play this gig, whether it's for me, whether it's for that sleeping hippie sound man, whether it's for 2 people, it doesn't matter. You will play, and you will finish this gig to the best of your ability, because this is your dream and you are living it right now. And if you don't want to live the dream, that's fine. We'll take you home right now. We can pack up and go home. But if you want to live the dream, you're going to have to work for it. And this is what it's going to take. And you know what? I looked at my band, they looked at me, and we finished that freaking gig. And even by the end of that gig, the sound man was awake. I think he was moving. He was kind of moving. he even looked like he was kind of enjoying it. And you know what? We played an excellent freaking gig for our mamas and for that sound man. And it was amazing. And, you know, my mama did everything that she could for me to help me live that dream. And even to this day, my mama is helping me live my dream, helping me with my YouTube dream, helping me with the development of my game dream. She has always been there for me every single step of the way of my life. And you know what, Mama? I love you so much. It hurts me to even think about it. And I just want to say sorry for that time that I kicked you out of the practice room. That was definitely not on. But anyway, guys, Regular played at the festival. We played something like 10 gigs. Most of the gigs were really small crowds. At one point, the biggest crowd we had was like 5 other people other than our mamas. Our mamas came to every single gig. Bless their hearts. They played their $2 every single time. And we left the festival really, really happy. and regular never quite made it. We never quite reached the level of stardom that we thought we would reach. But we had an amazing experience, and one of the funnest times of my entire life was that festival with that band and with my mama. But anyway, guys, that is the story of my very first band, Diamond Illusion, evolving into my second band, Regular, and the story of our unsuccess. And I really hope you guys enjoyed that story. We have been in this cave system for about 40 minutes now, managed to collect a couple stacks of lapis and a whole bunch of gold, which is really, really amazing. So I'm going to get myself back to freaking Mole City right now, guys, because it is basically almost Christmas time. It is the day before Christmas 2013. That means tonight is Christmas Eve, and that means the whole of Rentopia needs to gather in Beatrice's house for a very, very special evening. So I need to get myself back to Mole City. Thank you so much for watching this episode, guys. If you enjoyed it, you hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe freaking button. And if you are watching this on Christmas Eve right now, on 2013 Christmas Eve, just want to wish you and your family an amazing Christmas. I hope you guys are having an amazing time together. Remember, guys, family is the most important thing on this earth. And even if you don't like some of your family members, remember that you will always love them, and they will always love you, even if you don't like each other. And that's the most important thing ever, guys. So today, give your mamas a huge freaking hug from the Rendiggity-Dog, because mamas are the best things on earth. And, give your dads a hug too. Even if you don't hug dads, give them a hug, man. Dads need hugs also. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. This has been Rendog playing Minecraft Survival. We will see you in the next episode. Goodbye, my friends.